Hello everyone. Welcome back to our channel, Canada Immigration. We hope you're doing great. In this video, we will talk about the British Columbia Draw 2024, British Columbia PNP draws, 2 Ontario OINP draws issues 244 PR invitations, June, more SEC Express entry draws needed to retain skilled workers, more Canadians now feel immigration levels are excessively high, which jobs received the most LMIAs in 2023. New Ontario OINP draws sent 190 PR invitations on June 17. Welcome to our latest video on Canadian immigration. Today, we'll cover the recent British Columbia Draw 2024 and Ontario OINP draws, which issued 244 PR invitations in June and an additional 190 on June 17. We'll also discuss the urgent need for more SEC Express entry draws to retain skilled workers and the growing sentiment among Canadians that immigration levels are too high. Plus, we'll reveal which jobs received the most LMIAs in 2023. Stay tuned for these key updates. If you are interested in this topic, to get all the information, pay attention and watch the video through to the end. Please hit like and subscribe, and don't forget to push the notification bell for an upcoming video. So, without any further delay, let's jump into the video. If you any query, please contact us on Instagram and Gmail. The latest British Columbia Draw of the month on June 18 issued more than 70 invitations to apply for permanent residency in general and targeted rounds of invitations. BC has been conducting the weekly draws consistently, we can say without any break since the day we entered the immigration news arena. However, a new trend has emerged recently as BC has started shrinking the number of invitations and increasing the cutoff score. The cutoff score remained the same among all the categories of general draws as compared to the previous general British Columbia Draw on May 28. If you any query, please contact us on Instagram and Gmail. Except for 39 healthcare-related occupations, 13 profiles created with experience and 39 healthcare-related occupations received invitations to apply for permanent residency, but the cutoff score increased by 2 points as compared to the previous healthcare draw on June 2. Furthermore, 6 invitations have been sent to profiles that have experience as early childhood educators, assistants or instructors, not 42,202. 9 applicants with experience in 25 construction-related occupations were invited for British Columbia's newest category-based draw, introduced in late 2023. If you any query, please contact us on Instagram and Gmail. Full details of the latest British Columbia Draw, June 18. British Columbia Draw, June 11. British Columbia Draw, June 4. British Columbia Draw, May 28. British Columbia Draw, May 22. British Columbia Draw, May 14. British Columbia Draw, May 7. British Columbia Draw, April 30. British Columbia Draw, April 23. British Columbia Draw, April 16. British Columbia Draw, April 9. British Columbia Draw, April 3. British Columbia Draw, March 26. British Columbia Draw, March 19. British Columbia Draw, March 19. British Columbia Draw, March 5. British Columbia Draw, February 27. British Columbia Draw, February 27. British Columbia Draw, February 27. British Columbia draw, February 6th. British Columbia draw, January 30th. January 23rd British Columbia draw. January 16th British Columbia draw. British Columbia draw, January 10th. Processing time for British Columbia. Processing timeframes are based on 80% of cases and begin when British Columbia receives your complete application after being drawn. 2 Ontario OINP draws issues 244 PR invitations June. Today, 2 new Ontario OINP draws sent out 244 invitations to apply under the Foreign Worker Stream and the International Student Stream. OINP expression of interest profiles created between June 11, 2023, and June 11, 2024, were considered invitations. Both draws were targeted only for candidates with a job offer for early childhood educators and assistants in Ontario. The previous International Student Stream draw was on March 12 and invited 1,306 candidates in a general round of invitations. The previous Foreign Worker Stream draw was on April 23 and sent 209 invitations to apply to target trade occupations. The Immigrant Nominee Program annual nomination quota has been increased by 5,000 to 21,500 for 2024. This new increase in nomination allocation for Ontario represents around 20% of Canada's annual immigration levels plan for provincial nominees this year. All the Foreign Worker Stream OINP draws in 2024. OINP has issued a total of 3,438 invitations to apply for permanent residency and 5 Foreign Worker Stream draws in 2024. All the International Student Stream OINP draws in 2024, a total of 5,193 invitations to apply for permanent residency have been issued in 6 International Student Stream OINP draws. Most recent OINP processing times. Below are the latest official processing times for various OINP application streams as of January 2024. More SEC Express entry draws needed to retain skilled workers. International students in Canada are finding it harder than ever because of the steep rise in the cutoff score in Express entry draws for permanent residency, with the anti-good news of the creation experience and news of high cutoff scores to qualify in these PR rounds. International graduates who have successfully studied and worked on post-graduation work permits for years may now be forced to leave because of this increase in the cutoff score for PR. To give a pretext to our readers, the Express entry system is the most common way of getting permanent residency based on skill set. The system uses comprehensive ranking system scoring based on age, level of education, years of work experience, language proficiency, etc., and a cutoff score is announced for an Express entry draw to invite a candidate to apply for permanent residency. We are now seeing immigration consultations by concerned international graduates who have a comprehensive ranking system score of 515 and whose PGWP is expiring in the next 3 months. Furthermore, there are international graduates with a CRS score of around 480 to 495 who have already left Canada because their PGWP expired this year and they didn't want to use unethical measures to extend their stay. Based on Express entry circle numbers, such individuals would be considered strong candidates for permanent residency until mid-2023. However, the cutoff score for general draws has reached 529, expected to go even higher in the last general draw, and 522 in the first general draw for Canadian Experience Class candidates announced on May 31st. What is the matter of concern? In plain sight, one can easily say that it is good for Canada to select even more skilled individuals with higher CRS scores as compared to before. Students who are going back from Canada in the first place stated that they will leave once their authorized period of stay ends. The matter of concern is that Canada is now selecting even less skilled individuals just because they have high proficiency in French. Promoting French is important, but not at the cost of ignoring all the other human capital factors such as age, education level, years of work experience, etc. In 2024, Canada invited 12,400 candidates to apply for permanent residency in 4 Express entry draws targeting candidates with high French language proficiency. The CRS cutoff score was as low as 336 in the February 29, 2024, round of invitations and the highest at 410 in the April 24, 2024, draw. Another matter of concern is that these cutoff scores are even lower than what we saw in 2023. 8,700 individuals were invited in 6 draws, with a cutoff score as low as 375 and the highest at 486. In technical analysis, we call it the lower lows and lower highs pattern, which seems to be of grave concern not only for the Canadian immigrant selection process but also for such newly selected permanent residents. They would find it difficult to economically integrate because of the lack of a specific skill set that the express entry system is designed to match with Canadian needs. Possible solution: more SEC express entry draw. First things first, let's make it clear that any part of this article is not intended to say that French-speaking individuals are low-skilled. French is of utmost importance to migrants. Skills seem reasonable. The number of PR invitations for French speakers should be reduced, and evenly distributed across the 12 months to keep the CRS cutoff score around 460 to 70. The number of invitations should depend on or around this cutoff score, or rather, a cutoff score based on the intended invitations to be sent. Maintaining the balance of the skill set of newly selected immigrants, more allocation and more draws should be given to the Canadian experience class to bring down the CRS cutoff score below 500. To meet Francophone immigration annual targets, Canada should fast-track the implementation of rural pilots for French-speaking communities announced by Immigration Minister Marc Miller in March 2024. As a temporary solution, a federal PGWP extension policy should come into place for SEC candidates in the express entry pool, similar to the one for Manitoban international graduates with expiring PGWPs. For example, individuals with expired or expiring PGWPs in 2024 in the express entry pool get an extension of up to 2 years to hone their skill levels further in alignment with newly implemented category-based draws. How practical is the PGWP extension in terms of numbers? Minister Miller has accepted the request of Manitoba to extend the PGWPs of 6,700 international graduates for up to 2 years who are in the Provincial Nominee Program pool. On May 29, there were 224,404 candidates in the pool from all the express entry programs, including the Rural Skilled Worker Program, Canadian Experience Class, and Federal Skilled Trades. In comparison to Manitoba, Ontario is 10x bigger, Quebec is 6x, BC is 3.8x, Alberta is 3.25x, the Atlantic provinces are 1.78x, and Saskatchewan is 0.83x. Based on 6,700 PGWP extensions for Manitoba and population multiples, we can say that it is easily doable to grant extensions across various provinces of Canada. How many candidates in the express entry pool would need a PGWP extension? Now, exact data for the ERFPs expiring in 2024 should be available with IRCC. But we can make an estimate based on historical numbers. At the time of introducing the 18-month PGWP extension policy in March 2023, it was estimated that about 127,000 PGWPs would expire in 2023. Out of these, 67,000 had already applied for permanent residency, leaving behind 50,000 who would have already benefited until December 2023. The number of international students with expiring PGWPs in the express entry pool would be even lower than this since not all have created their profiles. Still, we can estimate that on the higher side, around 50,000 to 70,000 PGWP holders, or perhaps, could be in the express entry pool and need an extension. So there seems to be no point in losing talented individuals who studied and are now working in Canada, have already integrated into Canadian communities, and are contributing to the economy. More Canadians now feel immigration levels are excessively high. More Canadians now strongly believe that immigration levels are excessively high and that immigrants are aggravating the housing situation and increasing pressure on public services and infrastructure. Remarkably, public perception is changing, with an increasing number of Canadians voicing concerns about the immigration laws and their alleged detrimental effects. Angus Reid Institute research shows that 44% of Canadians think immigration is excessively high, 33% think it is about right, and only 16% think it is too low. This is a big deviation from earlier years when most Canadians supported the nation's immigration laws. Young Irians are clearly showing a change in popular attitudes, according to an Environics Institute poll. 51% of citizens between the ages of 18 and 34 said immigration levels are excessively high, while 38% said they are about right. In sharp contrast, Just 37% of citizens 55 years of age and older think that immigration levels are excessive. The Immigration Department has opened 2024 public consultations for setting the annual new immigration levels plan. Open until June 30, 2024, the IRCC is seeking public input from Canadians, stakeholders, and immigration specialists. As of right now, Canada is aiming to welcome 485,000 new permanent residents by 2024 before stabilizing the yearly admissions to 500,000. Though there are many different causes for this change in public perception, many credit the housing crisis as a key one. Many are feeling the squeeze as house prices shoot up across the country, and they are worried that immigrants are making matters worse. One Toronto resident remarked, "While I'm all for immigration, I question if we're doing the right thing when I see people coming in and buying up houses and driving up prices." Some are concerned about the effect on public services and infrastructure. Many Canadians fear the government is not doing enough to meet the demand for schools, hospitals, and other necessary services given the country's fast population growth. "Our schools and healthcare system are under a lot of strain," a Vancouver resident stated. "I believe we should take our time and make sure we can serve the current population before we begin to welcome new ones." Many Canadians still think immigration benefits the nation, despite worries. According to a recent Century Initiative poll, 61% of Canadians believe immigration boosts the economy, while 57% believe it adds diversity and interest to the nation. "I think immigration is a good thing," a Montrealer declared. "It introduces novel viewpoints, civilizations, and ideas. Living in a nation that embraces individuals from all over the world makes me proud." Noticing the changing public sentiment, the government modified some of its immigration laws. Citing worries over the housing market and the burden on public services, the government declared in 2022 that it would be accepting fewer immigrants in 2023 and 2024. Many analysts do, however, think that the government's reaction has been too little, too late. To keep up with the growing population, they argue that the government must make additional investments in public services and infrastructure, as well as address the underlying reasons for the housing crisis. One specialist advised, "The government needs to take a more proactive approach to managing immigration. They need to collaborate with municipalities and provinces to guarantee that newcomers are settling in places with enough infrastructure and housing to support them." It is evident as the immigration debate rages on that there are no simple solutions to this complicated problem. Though many Canadians worry about the detrimental effects of immigration, others think that it is essential to the identity and future of their nation. "We need to approach immigration in a balanced way," a Canadian stated. "We must take care of our current residents and bring in people who can contribute to our society and economy." The government has pledged to keep evaluating its immigration laws and to collaborate with provinces and municipalities to allay Canadian concerns. The immigration issue is probably going to be a contentious one as the nation develops and changes. Which jobs received the most LMIAs in 2023? Gaining Canadian work experience is a crucial part of the immigration journey for many newcomers, helping increase their eligibility for immigration while also improving their skills to reflect the labor market. The ability to work in Canada is usually granted through a work permit, which allows holders to live and work in the country with temporary resident status. Newcomers who are looking to work in Canada, but do not have access to another kind of work permit may find value in pursuing a labor market impact assessment supported work permit. LMIA is the Canadian government's assessment of the impact of hiring a foreign worker on the Canadian labor market to support a work permit application. The LMIA must return a positive, or neutral result. With a negative result making the position ineligible for this kind of work permit. The use of an LMIA also helps determine whether a Canadian citizen or permanent resident is available to fill a job position. Positions that receive LMIAs are often highly in demand. Canada below is CIC News's breakdown of which jobs received the most LMIAs in 2023, based on data from the Canadian government. What were the top 10 jobs that received LMIAs? According to Canada's Open Data Portal, in 2023 the following jobs received the most LMIAs throughout the year. The employment codes and job titles given above correspond to occupation classification, NOC, 2016 codes. Canada uses the NOC system to categorize and classify professions within the Canadian economy. Interestingly, many of the 2016 NOC codes were expanded in 2021, yielding more specific jobs that were previously grouped. For example, the 2016 NOC code for general farm workers, 8,431, was expanded in 2021 to 84,120. Specialized livestock workers and farm machinery operators, 85,100, livestock laborers, and 85,101, harvesting laborers. To check how NOCs and job positions may have changed from 2016 to 2021, find IRCC's conversion table for NOC codes, here. Within the top 100 jobs that receive LMIAs, most positions were within administrative, construction, farming, technology and technology management, transport, logistics, and food service sectors of the economy. In total, the Canadian government issued more than 60,000 LMIAs to support the hiring of foreign workers in 2023. Applicants in these positions also received their work permits under different streams of the Temporary Foreign Worker Program. The TFWP is the main immigration program that issues LMIA-supported work permits. The TFWP also contains multiple streams within it, with differing eligibility for candidates depending on the kind of work, job type, industry, responsibilities, and wages that their job entails. Of the top 10 jobs that received an LMIA last year, 4 were from the low-wage stream of the TFWP, 4 were from the high-wage stream, 1 was from the global talent stream, and 1, which received the highest number of LMIAs, was from the primary agriculture stream. How can newcomers use this information? In cases where newcomers require an LMIA, but are flexible in their work choice, they may want to target occupations that have received a high number of LMIAs in the past. Newcomers should remember that their employers are responsible for applying for the LMIA and paying all associated fees. Employers must also follow the outlined steps and comply with TFWP standards when applying for an LMIA, such as advertising the job position publicly for a certain amount of time. In March of 2024, Canada included validity periods and workforce quotas. New Ontario OINP draws sent 190 PR invitations on June 17. The week begins with 2 Ontario OINP draws on June 17, sending out 190 permanent residency invitations under the foreign worker stream and the international student stream. These 2 OINP draws again targeted early childhood educators and assistants, NOC 42,202, similar to what we saw in last week's draws on June 11, but the cutoff score dropped by 4 to 5 points. These invitation draws considered OINP, expression of interest, profiles made between June 17, 2023, and June 17, 2024. Here is the summary of OINP draws today and last week. The annual nomination cap for the Ontario Immigrant Nominee Program has been increased by 5,000 to 21,500 for 2024. This new rise in the number of nominations for Ontario makes up about 20% of Canada's annual plan for provincial nominees this year. New OINP update, June 17. OINP has updated its employer guide and related employer job offer stream pages to clarify the minimum number of employees that an employer must have. The Ontario Immigrant Nominee Program provided clarity on the minimum number of workers an employer must have when hiring mobile workers. When a company hires a mobile workforce, the new OINP guidance makes it clear that the minimum number of workers that the company must have at the place where the applicant will work or report to work can include both workers who work at that location, workers who report to work at that location. The report to work location could mean either the applicant should provide the location of their direct boss or supervisor, or the administrative office, where they will receive their work tasks and assignments. The minimum number of workers for the report to work location will stay at 5 for the Greater Toronto Area and 3 for work outside the GTA. All foreign workers stream OINP draws in 2024. In 2024, the foreign worker stream of the OINP will have held 6 draws, sending out a total of 3,544 invitations to apply for permanent status. All the OINP draws for international students stream in 2024. There have been 5,277 permanent residency invitations sent in 7 international student stream OINP draws so far in 2024. Thank you for tuning into our immigration update. We've covered the significant BC and Ontario draws, the need for more SEC Express entry draws, public concerns about immigration levels, and top jobs receiving LMIAs. We hope this information helps you navigate Canada's evolving immigration landscape. Stay informed and see you next time. That is all for today. In this video, what are your thoughts on this? Please let us know in the comments section below. Thanks for watching the entire video. Hopefully, the information is useful to you. See you later, in the next video. Till then, take care.